Hello students, welcome to statistics class. This is Shubhada. And here is the answers for the assignment number 25. For the first question, consumer price index is 141.07, and for the second question, consumer price index is 124.46. And we had to write consumer price index result with conclusion. And today we are continuing with the chapter 2 index numbers session 26. And we are continuing with consumer price index numbers. In this session, I prefer to opt for teaching how to handle problems or a different type of problems under family budget method. Here I consider an example. The data given in the table speaks about, in the first column, different items are given as cereals, other food, fuel, housing and clothing. And each entry in this, we treat it as group of items. And the second column speaks about group index and it is denoted by capital I. And the last column, weight, is denoted by capital W. Here the first group of items, which is called cereals, got the group index as 135. It means for cereals group, the index number is 135 along with the weight 61 is given in the data. Similarly, for different group of items, we got different group index numbers and their corresponding weights. For such a problem, consumer price index is calculated using the formula summation Wi divided by summation W, where W stands for weight and I stands for group index. In some problems, instead of the word group index, we may come across the word price index. In such a case, price index is denoted with the letter capital P. For such problems, consumer price index is calculated using the formula summation WP divided by summation W, where once again W stands for weight and capital P speaks about price index of that particular group. Here I consider some examples. To start with, first example. Construct a suitable consumer price index using the following data. The first column heading items and the entries are cereals, other food, fuel, housing, clothing, others. Second column heading group index 135, 152, 124, 148, 107 and 139. Their corresponding average expenditure per house per month are 61, 73, 19, 41, 26 and 82. That completes the question. Now let us discuss what notation we had to opt for. For the second column, that is group index, is nothing but it is the index number for different group of items. That's why it is denoted by capital I. And the third column speaks about average expenditure, and we know that W is the notation which we had to use for average expenditure. And here is the answer part. Now, in the first column of the table, we are having different items Group index is the second column heading with the notation I, and the third column, average expenditure per house per month, is denoted by W. That completes the given data. Now, by family budget method, we had to opt for the formula summation Wi divided by summation W. We require the total of weights, that's why sum up all the values in W column, that is 61 plus 73 plus 19 plus 41 plus 26 plus 82 results in 302. The other total required for the calculation of consumer price index is summation Wi. For the same reason, let us opt for creating the next column heading as Wi. Now multiply W column values with their corresponding I column values. For example, for the first entry, it is 61 multiplied by 135 results in 8235. The second value, 73 multiplied by 152 is 11,096. 19 multiplied by 124 is 2,356. 41 multiplied by 148 is 6,068. 26 multiplied by 107 results in 2782. The last value, 82 multiplied by 139 results in 11,398. Sum up all the values in Wi column and it results in 41,935. Now substitute the values in the formula and we end up writing consumer price index is equal to summation Wi divided by summation W is equal to 41,935 divided by 302, which results in 138.86. That completes the result for consumer price index. Now the conclusion is here cost of living index of a particular class for the current year increased by 38.86% as compared to the base year. That completes the first question. Here is the second example. Construct a suitable consumer price index using the following data. First column heading items are food, clothing, fuel and lighting, housing and miscellaneous. Second column heading price index. They are 225, 150, 175, 250 and 140. The last column heading percentage expenditure are 40, 12, 16, 14 and 18. That completes the question. Now let us look at the notation part. Here second column heading speaks about price index of different group of items and it is denoted by capital P. And the next column percentage expenditure, we will assign the letter W for it. Here is the answer part. First column heading items, second column heading price index denoted by capital P. The third column heading percentage expenditure is denoted by W. That completes the given data. The formula for family budget method for consumer price index is summation WP divided by summation W. Therefore, sum up all the values in W column which results in 100 because all the values in W column are given in percentage, that is percentage expenditures are given and sum of all those values should result in 100. Next, we need summation WP value for the calculation So create the next column heading as W into P. Now find WP values by multiplying the values in W column with their corresponding values in P column. To start with, the first value is 40 multiplied by 225 is 9000. 12 multiplied by 150 is 1800. 16 multiplied by 175 is 2800. 14 multiplied by 250 is 3500. 18 multiplied by 140 is 2520. Sum up all the values in WP column, which results in 19,620. Substitute the values of summation WP and summation W in the formula of consumer price index, which results in 19,620 divided by 100. And the resulting consumer price index is 196.20. Therefore, we conclude that cost of living index of a particular class for the current year is increased by 96.20% as compared to the base year. That completes example 2. Here is example 3. The question or the example starts in this way. The group indices and the corresponding weights for the working class in an industrial town for the year 2005 and 2010 with base 2000 are given below. Find consumer price index numbers for 2005 and 2010. The data is having first column heading as group, and the entries are food, clothing, fuel, house rent and miscellaneous. Second column heading group weight are 71, 3, 9, 7 and 10. The next column heading group index with base 2000. It got two column headings, year 2005 and 2010. Now write the values under group index for the year 2005 are 370, 420, 470, 110 and 280. For the year 2010, they are 380, 500, 340, 120 and 282. Here, if we observe 2000, year 2000 is the base year, and we have to find consumer price index numbers for both 2005 as well as for the year 2010, keeping 2000 as base year. With this information, let us speak about the notations. For the second column heading, group weight should be mentioned with the letter W. The next two columns, that is group index for 2005, is denoted with I1 because this speaks about group index, nothing but I, and we had to handle two current years, that is 2005 as well as for 2010. We had to treat them as current years. That's why we differentiate these two current years by mentioning 2005 group index as I1 and 2010 group index as I2. And here is the data with corresponding notations. The first line in this slide speaks about let I1 and I2 be the group indices for the year 2005 and 2010 respectively. So in this table, first column heading speaks about groups, and then the second column heading group weight is denoted by W, then group index for 2005 is denoted by I1, and group index for 2010 is denoted by I2. So up to that column, it is the given data. Now we are aware about the formula to find consumer price index, and we know that consumer price index for such a data, the formula is summation Wi divided by summation W. So find summation W value by summing up all the values in W column, which results in 100. The next step is to find Wi1 values for the construction of consumer price index for the year 2005 and Wi2 to find the consumer price index for the year 2010. And now we are opting for the next column heading Wi1. Here multiply W column values with their corresponding I1 column values. The first value, multiply 71 by 370 results in 26,270. The next value, 3 multiplied by 420 is 1,260. Next, 9 multiplied by 470 is 4,230. 7 multiplied by 110 is 770, and the last value 10 multiplied by 280 is 2,800. Together, values in Wi1 column results in 35,330. That is, summation Wi1 is 35,330. Similarly, find the values of Wi2 column by multiplying the values of W column with corresponding I2 column. Here we go. 71 multiplied by 380 is 26,980. 3 multiplied by 500 is 1,500. 9 multiplied by 340 is 3,060. 7 multiplied by 120 is 840. And 10 multiplied by 282 is 2,820. The total of all the values in Wi2 column, that is summation Wi2, is 35,200. Now, let us find consumer price index for the year 2005 and 2010, keeping 2000 as base year. For the current year 2005, consumer price index formula is summation Wi1 divided by summation W. Substitute the values from the previous table and it is 35,330 divided by 100, which results in 353.3. Therefore, we write the conclusion that cost of living index for the working class in an industrial town for the year 2005 is increased by 253.3% as compared to base year 2000. Similarly, for 2010, consumer price index is summation Wi2 divided by summation W. Substitute the values from the previous table and it is 35,200 divided by 100 is 352. Therefore, the conclusion is cost of living index for the working class in an industrial town for the year 2010 is increased by 252% as compared to the base year 2000. That completes the third example. Here is the fourth example and the last example. If you observe, the example or the question here is in statement form. And here it goes. A family budget enquiry revealed that the average expenditure of the families on food, clothing, house rent, fuel, and miscellaneous are 35%, 10%, 15%, 10%, and 30% respectively. If the respective group indices are 150, 130, 190, 200 and 160, find the consumer price index number. That completes the problem. The first step here is to convert this statement problem into a table format. And here the answer part starts. We mention different items in the first column and then we speak about the corresponding group index as well as group weights given in the problem. Therefore, first column heading items is denoted with the entries food, clothing, house rent, fuel and miscellaneous. Second column heading, it's given as 35, 10, 15, 10 and 30. Together all these values result in 100. The next column is nothing but group index as 150, 130, 190, 200 and 160. This is the first step of converting the statement problem data into a table format. The next step is writing the formula for consumer price index with this type of data is nothing but summation Wi divided by summation W. And already we know that summation W results in 100. The next total required is summation Wi. Therefore, create Wi column and find its values. And for the column Wi, for the first entry, it is multiply I column values with corresponding W column values. The first value is 150 multiplied by 35 is 5250. The next 10 multiplied by 130 is 1300. 15 multiplied by 190 is 2850. 10 multiplied by 200 is 2000. 30 multiplied by 160 is 4800. Together it is 16,200. Substitute these totals in the formula and it is equal to 16,200 divided by 100, which results in 162. Therefore, consumer price index is 162. And here is the conclusion. The cost of living index number of the families is increased by 62% in current year compared to base year. That completes this example. And here is assignment number 26. The first question, calculate price index using family budget method from the following data. Items are A, B, C and D. Group indices are 102, 97, 108 and 110. Weights are 8, 6, 12 and 4. Second question. For the following data, compute consumer price index for 1995 and 2000, taking 1990 as base year. And here is the data. Question number 3. A family budget enquiry revealed that the average expenditure of the families on food, clothing, house rent, fuel and miscellaneous are 30%, 10%, 20%, 20% and 20%. If respective group indices are 130, 170, 160, 200 and 180, find consumer price index. That completes the assignment questions. Students, solve these questions and you will get the answer in the next session. And this completes online video classes of index numbers. From next session, we are starting with vital statistics. And students, in index number chapter, we are left with two concepts called bias in index numbers and the second concept, that is tests of adequacy. These two concepts will be discussed in regular classes when the college reopens. And I am repeating, from next session onwards, we are starting with vital statistics chapter, and it will be started by Padmalata ma'am. Thank you.